Welcome back everyone. In this lesson, we're going to go through the process of setting up the Arduino Create plugin and setting up our Maker board and getting it connected to our Wi-Fi network. From a web browser perspective, I would highly recommend you install and use Google Chrome. This is the browser that works best and is supported by the Arduino Create plugin. So if you don't have Google Chrome installed, please pause the video at this time and do that now. When you're done installing Google Chrome, we can get started. Okay, so now that you have Google Chrome installed, or if you had it installed already, open it and head over to create.arduino.cc in the address window. This will bring up the Arduino Create console. To get started on the install and setup process, click on the Getting Started tile. Remember, icons may have changed a bit and features may have moved around as the site is updated, but in general, if you look around on the screen, you should still be able to follow along and find the features we discuss. So I'll click on the Getting Started tile here. On the Getting Started page, you're given an option of boards to choose from. Since we are working on the Arduino Maker Wi-Fi 1010 board, click on the option to set that particular version up. So this is the second option here on our screen. So go ahead and click on that link. And next we are presented with a summary of what is involved in the setup process. So first we'll need to install the Arduino Create plugin. This essentially is a tool that would allow us to upload sketches from the browser onto our boards via a USB cable or the network. Next, we will work on connecting our Maker board to our Wi-Fi network. Then, we will configure a thing in the Arduino Create IoT Cloud to be attached to our board. And finally, we will demonstrate how everything works. So to get started, now I'm going to click on the Login button at the bottom of the screen. So that would load up the main screen, which shows all the steps that are involved in our setup process. So the first thing that we need to do is download the Arduino plugin. So I have a Mac, I'm running Mac OS, and I get the option for a Mac. And of course, if you're running a Windows or a Linux machine, you'll get the appropriate choice for those operating systems. So I'm going to click on the download button here. And I'm just going to download that to my desktop. So once that is downloaded, I'm going to open it up. And I'm just going to double click here on the installation file. And basically double click again. And of course on the Mac, I get a warning that this is an app that was downloaded from the internet and it's okay. We know that what we're installing, so I'm just going to click on open. I'm just going to click on OK here on this message. And now I am presented with a setup menu, and we're going to go through the steps of installing the plugin. So I'm going to go ahead and click next. I'm going to accept the agreement. Click next. I'm going to leave the installation directory here by default. Whatever it shows up here as, we can leave that default setting. Click on next. Next, we get a warning. Do you intend to use the agent with a browser other than Google Chrome or Firefox? Let's leave no selected since we will be using Chrome. Click on next. And now we got a message saying that it's now ready to begin installing the agent on your computer. So I'm going to go ahead and click on next here. And let's let it run through the installation process. So that's it, it's finished. It ran pretty quickly. I'm going to click on finish. And here we can actually close off this window. And what it does is it was actually trying to detect that the plugin was installed. And of course we timed out because we were going through the installation process. But now that we actually installed the plugin, let's go ahead and click on try again and see if it will detect it. So I'm going to click on try again. And it looks like it was able to detect it. And there we got the message that the plugin was correctly installed. So next up, I'm going to click on the next button. And here it's prompting me to connect the Arduino to my computer. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. One end of the USB cable is plugged into the maker board, and the other end I'm going to connect that to my computer. So I'll do that now. And it timed out, so let's go ahead and click on try again. Okay, so it did detect my board, and now we are asked to give our board a name. Now you can name this anything that you want. You can have any customized name for your board, but I'm just going to use the default that's given there, Maker Wi-Fi 1010, to make things simple. So I'm going to enter into here Maker Wi-Fi 1010, and it actually inserted the underscores for us. So this should be acceptable, Maker underscore Wi-Fi underscore 1010. So once that's done, let's go ahead and click on next. So now it's going to go through the process of doing some configuration to make our MakerBoard IoT ready. So there is a crypto chip on the board, so it's going to go through the process of configuring that. And basically, the benefit of the integration of MakerBoards to the Arduino IoT Cloud is that we can have secure communication between the device and the cloud. And of course, for IoT devices and IoT things, being able to communicate securely with the cloud is of paramount importance, because we don't want hackers sort of getting access to our devices, be able to listen in on any communication that is happening between the device and the cloud. So that should all be encrypted. So let's go ahead and click on configure. Now this process could take up to 5 minutes or so, as we see here. So I am just gonna pause the video, let this run, and we're gonna pick it back up when this process is complete. Let's let the process run. So now the process is completed as far as a crypto, and now we have to enter Wi-Fi data, and this is to get our board connected to our Wi-Fi net. So I'm going to click on enter Wi-Fi data, and what it actually did, it navigated to the secret tab here. So it's at this point you would enter the Wi-Fi name or your SSID for your Wi-Fi network here in this top text box, and then below would be the password for your Wi-Fi network. So I'm going to enter the values for my Wi-Fi network now. So once those values have been entered, I'm going to click on the upload button. So now it's uploading those credentials to my board securely. Let's give that a few seconds to complete here. And now the board is currently connecting to the internet and the Arduino IoT Cloud, so it's validating our credentials, and it looks like we are good to go. So it was able to connect to the board, and now we're at the point where we can test that our board works, and actually that we're able to send instructions here from the console to the board. So now let's go ahead and test this out. So from the console here, I'm just gonna put in on, the message on, and click on send. And if you'll notice on the Arduino board, the onboard LED turned on. So it was able to send that instruction successfully over the internet to our board to turn it on. So let's go ahead and try turning it off. So I'm just going to type in OFF, all uppercase here, and click on send. And you'll notice that the LED came off. So that means that all our setup was successful, and our board is now connected to the internet, to our Wi-Fi network. The Arduino Create plugin was able to successfully upload a sample sketch to our board, and everything is working. So at this point, we are good to go to work on our IoT applications, and this would complete the setup process that's needed to get our Maker Wi-Fi 1010 board all enabled and ready to go. So from here I can click on next, and here we are all set. So it says congratulations, you're all set, and we are done. So this completes the setup process for our Maker board.